Guys, I have to admit, I do not want to homeschool. I am at a point where homeschooling has become so difficult, and I will tell you why. The honeymoon phase, which I call the rainbow phase when it comes to homeschooling, is gone. It's over, it's nowhere to be seen, but I'll tell you more coming right up. Hey guys, my name is Maritza Mendoza with the Homeschooling Mindset, and I'm so excited to be here because I want to share with you why I'm so over homeschool. But I want to continue to homeschool at the end of the day. But I want to share this with you because before I began this channel, I used to visit a lot of homeschooling channels, and what I saw, it was a pattern, was that a lot of moms talk about all the things that their kids love. You know, my child loves this curriculum. My child loves this. My child loves that. And for me, I felt like I couldn't relate to any of that to a certain extent. Why? Because my son, he doesn't like anything. No matter what I try, I try activities, going outside, doing coding and things that he loves, and trying to add these educational elements to the activities that he enjoys. But even then, I have learned firsthand that it does not all work. It hasn't all worked out. There are things that work, but they don't work permanently. They may work one day and then the next day, like it's gone. Like it doesn't even work anymore. He doesn't want to do any worksheets, or he just doesn't want to do anything at all. What works one day may not work the next time. And so what do you do when you come to that point where nothing works? Before, when we first started homeschool, everything was nice and everything would flow and he would do all his work. And I feel that it's because he was so accustomed to school. So he felt, okay, it's school. It's more or less like school. I have to do it at home. Whereas now we're 2 years in, and guess what? He has realized that it's home. We are home. He can relax a little bit. He can lay back. He can turn on the TV and watch something, especially when I'm still sleeping, because I have a newborn, which I have him here, by the way. And sometimes, and I have found, and my husband has noticed, that my son knows exactly how long I sleep. So he'll wake up extra early so that he can get in, 30 minutes or 40 minutes of like cartoon time. So it's hilarious. I don't know if this happens to you, but, and then once he does this and I wake up and it's time to have breakfast and it's time to, do our work, which is, we have a curriculum that we follow, and there are just different things that we do. We don't just use one curriculum, we use several. So we follow these curriculums and things, and he just gets upset. He gives me attitude. I don't know if you can relate to any of this, but I get the I don't want to do this, or why, it's so boring, all these negative things. And no matter how happy I am or how excited or what activity I try to incorporate so that he can, just have a good mood or have a good time, it just doesn't seem to work every single time. This is why I'm confessing. I have not been wanting to homeschool. I want to avoid the struggle, but like, it doesn't have to be perfect every day. Every day doesn't have to look the same. And I hope this serves as a reminder. If you're going through the same thing that I'm going through, and I feel like I'm ministering to myself, like every day will not look the same, and not everything will work out, because we get accustomed. I have gotten accustomed to listening to these YouTube channels or these YouTube videos where they say, if you do this, your child would, he will respond this way, or it's very cutthroat, like this is what works. And the reality is that it may work, but it may not work on a consistent basis. Kids are human beings. They're not robots. So it's kind of like I have to roll with the punches and go through the motions of, the nagging and the whining and the not wanting to. And I kind of have to ignore that, especially since I have chosen to continue homeschooling, though I may not want to in this season because I'm exhausted. I don't sleep. I have a newborn. So it is hard, it is difficult, but if you are where I am right now, if you find yourself struggling and you don't want to homeschool and you're just over it, just drink some coffee or, just make a beverage that you really enjoy, have some time, breathe in, and just know that it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to, there's no, this is not a race of, finishing. He has to finish the curriculum. Everything comes within its season. Everything comes within its time. And we cannot go crazy. We cannot, become so stressed out that we break down like I have. I have had moments where I just break down and I just don't want to homeschool because it's becoming such a struggle with my 8-year-old. Everything is a struggle. And I just, I feel that God has ministered to my heart and he has told me, not everything will look the same every season. Remember, there are different cycles to life. There are different times, different periods. Not every period will look the same. And as I spoke about in another video, transitions are important. We have gone through a major transition, which is my newborn. And I want you to take into consideration your lifestyle and the things that you're going through. Are there transitions? Have you been going through things or different situations that maybe the kids are aware of that you may not even notice they're aware of? Is there stress in the home? And maybe we're transmitting that stress onto our children and, maybe they're just mirroring what we're going through and what we're reflecting. So take a look at all those things, the ambiance in your home culture, because those things do impact how a child behaves. And instead of tackling, and this is one of the most important things that I feel God has showed me, that instead of tackling the behavior and making him and trying to make him compliant, instead, maybe it's just time to pause the worksheets and just have conversations and just enjoy ourselves and just play the board games and just play the video games and just connect and form bonds and connections, because maybe there's something underneath that behavior. Most likely, from many books that I have read on child psychology, is that we should not try to correct behavior, though it's hard sometimes to just, we're not conscious of it. At least for me, I'm not conscious of it. Sometimes I'm just trying to see, how I can get him to behave a certain way. We shouldn't try to correct the behavior, but instead search and try to identify what's underneath that behavior and why. Why is he so bothered? Why is your child so bothered? Why, what is it about the worksheets that he's dreading? Maybe it's because he's not confident in a certain area. And that I've seen. And my 8-year-old is more reluctant to do something like reading or grammar, anything with punctuation, spelling, and language arts. Speaking, he's not confident in that area. So just take a look at, just try to pause. And if by any chance you're going through anything, any emotional problems or any emotional roller coasters or just mental health issues, it's definitely time to pause, to talk to someone, seek for help, seek for counseling, because if you're homeschooling and you have mental health issues, believe me, you will transmit those emotions and what you're feeling onto your child, and that will definitely negatively impact the environment, your children, and it's just not gonna, you guys are not gonna have a good time homeschooling. So though I don't want to homeschool right now, and that's the reality, I just would love to just step back and just chill. And when I say homeschool, I'm talking about worksheets. I really don't want to do the worksheets. I really don't want to go through the books. I really don't want to go through all those motions. I want to avoid the struggle. And I've realized that, maybe I should. Maybe in this season, while we have this new baby in our home, maybe it's time to pause the books and press play on the playing activities and things that will bring us joy and happiness and peace. So guys, I hope this was helpful. I would love to hear your feedback. Have you gone through this? Am I the only one that feels like this, where I just don't want to homeschool and I don't want to do the work, but I do want to be with my kids. And I will continue, obviously, to choose home education as our first choice to help our children learn. So guys, thank you so much. I await your comments and I'll see you next time. God bless.